Now, basketball has become one of the world's most powerful cultural exports, a sport that unites communities, shapes identity, and now increasingly defines Africa's role on the global stage. With the NBA and the Chiney Africa League investing in grassroots development, the continent is emerging as both a hotbed of talent and a platform for wider social impact. At the center of this movement is Chiney Ogwumike, a former WNBA All-Star, award-winning broadcaster, and now philanthropist. She has used her platform to champion women in sports and inspire Africa's next generation through her basketball foundation. Chiney is in Nigeria this week, working alongside the NBA and BAL to deliver youth-focused programs. And she joins us now on Newsday to discuss her mission and the growing future of the games across Africa. Thank you for joining us, Chiney.
Thank you for having me.
Lovely to have you.
Now, you wear a lot of hats.
Yep.
WNBA All-Star, ESPN host, NBA analyst, and also philanthropist. How do you merge all of this together and still connect with your roots?
It is difficult, a lot of different jobs, but honestly, what I am so grateful for is impact. When I started playing basketball professionally, we all know what the goals are. You want to be an all-star, you want to be a champion, you want to be an MVP. But as I kept playing in the WNBA, I realized the most important thing was creating an impact. And I realized that through my voice, my platform, that's where I could do the most. And there's nothing better than going back home. And I've been a proud Nigerian. I call myself Nigerian American, born and raised in the US, but have that Niger blood. And
Say your full name for us.
Chiney
Hey!
That's my full name.
I love it.
Yeah, and I love it too. And I'm glad when I come home because I get the full name treatment.
Yes.
But my foundation, Queens of the Continent, my mom actually went to Queens College. And so I'm inspired by her journey, her roots. A lot of my aunties went to Queens College. And being a women's basketball player, which women's basketball is truly on the rise, it was a perfect opportunity to bring my worlds together. Come back home to Nigeria, help the up-and-coming rising stars that are women, because oftentimes in sports, the boys, the young men go first. You know the names, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Joel Embiid, Pascal Siakam, Victor Oladipo, but there are female names. My sister, she's a WNBA champion. She's a 10-time WNBA All-Star. There are so many future champions, future All-Stars here. Our greatest resource is our people and the talent. And to be able to harness that through my foundation, but also let the ladies go first.
Come on now.
Let the ladies go first. That to me, because I have 3 sisters. I'm one of 4 girls. And I have an amazing girl dad and a very strong mom. And to be able to see what that sisterhood has taught me, you can translate that to so many different aspects of life. So I'm glad to be home.
Glad to have you.
I'm literally starstruck here. When you're talking about your mother and aunties attending Queens College. That's also where I attended. Yes, calm down. I know you can't relate to it. Calm down. And then you're from. It's also an Ndibo, Imo State. Chiney Ogwumike. I just feel like I can relate to you so much. So let's talk about the impact that you're so keen on documenting or taking off achieving. How do your goals change every year, or how do you top your own achievements?
I think my goals change every day.
Okay.
Because when you set a goal, it might shift. You might be in a new environment, you might be presented with a new challenge, and so you have to adapt with that. And I think about goals, but really, I'm really mimicking my older sister who I spoke of, Nneka Ogwumike. She's currently playing still in the WNBA, year 14 for her. Wow. And I tell everyone she's not my role model, she's my goal model.
Ooh.
Because she sets goals, but the difference here is that she allowed us as younger sisters, she taught us how to achieve them too. Because oftentimes as women, we're taught to be competitive, which is why I love this program. It's women here.
Come on.
Yeah. Many seats at the table. Many seats at the table. But that's not the norm for women. And so I learned through my older sister who had these great goals. She was the first one to play basketball. I was too afraid to. But she came home every night and taught me, Chiney, this is how you dribble. This is how you shoot. And next thing you know, she had multiple scholarship opportunities. She chose Stanford University, and I followed her there. And because she was collaborative as a woman instead of competitive, which is what they sort of train us to be, it allowed me to open my horizons, and that's what's helped me create goals, knowing that I have a support system that cheers me on. And so my sisters are my role models, yeah.
So you know what I hear from all you're saying? You're pushing the frontier for women empowerment in sports. Now you're here in Nigeria this week and you're with the NBA, the BAL Africa League. What's the mission for this trip?
The mission for the trip is to create winning opportunities. So my foundation is called Queens of the Continent, and we are partnering with the BAL Africa League, which, by the way, everyone knows the NBA, the WNBA. The NBA has only one league outside of the continental US or North America, and that's in Africa. And there's a reason. There's a reason. It's because they understand the talent and the potential that is here, that can be harnessed and that can be trained. And so, you know, being able to be a participant here this weekend and understand that women are very key in that story as well, that's one of the things that we're going to be doing. So I know I talk about the hoops, but it's very important to also have mentorship. And so the first thing that we're going to do is have a mentorship event where we bring in people that are interested in sports, that are very young, but maybe will not go pro, you know, but still have that same passion. And we'll bring in some game changers to teach them their insights. And so it's about, you know, my mission is creating winning opportunities both on and off the court, teaching the young elite players how to play at a high level, those things that I was never taught, or even just how to be a woman as a basketball player. You know, it's hard to learn some of the things without going through it, but I'm here to teach them so their path is easier. And then off the court, again, there's some people that may not play basketball, they want to coach, they want to be a sports broadcaster, they want to be a businesswoman, they want to own a team. Teaching them the steps to their greatness, so both on and off the court. That's winning opportunities. That's a mission of my foundation.
Fantastic. I really appreciate what you said earlier. I had to write it down. You said you're teaching women to be collaborative and not competitive, which is so crucial. But some might say, you might look at your story or what you're trying to achieve and have a raised eyebrow, like, what's really going on here? And be like, the NBA's Africa investment is definitely significant. But are these initiatives creating sustainable local ecosystems or extracting talent for Western leagues?
Oh, no, I think we have to work hand in hand. You know, we need private investment that can help boost the opportunities to build infrastructure, but we also need the approval of our home to be able to build it. So the first thing I was able to do through the NBA, NBA Africa and the BAL Africa League, I went and saw His Excellency, our governor here at Lagos State, Sanwo-Olu, and I was able to have a conversation with them alongside some key investors, alongside a number of NBA Africa personnel, and they sort of explained the balance, public and private, you know, being able to push the league forward. I recently just came back maybe a week and a half ago, I can't remember time, it's crazy, from Rwanda. And one of my mentors is Masai Ujiri, a Nigerian, someone who has helped and worked with President Paul Kagame to build an arena in Rwanda. He brought foreign investment, but also it was a lot of public commitment by the president to say sports is something that can actually transform economies. They built arenas, they built courts, they built something called Zaria Court, which literally is the infrastructure, hotels, restaurants. I was there to witness it, and it was beautiful. He brought 320 kids from across the continent, 20 countries, to compete. It was a beautiful hand-in-hand type of involvement that allowed us to celebrate basketball in a way that could create change for not just basketball players, but for communities. So I know a lot of people think, oh, you just want to come and take our talent. No, we want to build, because if you build it, they will come, they will develop, they will grow, they will be able to pursue their dreams. And so I think it takes everyone. I'm someone who's very big in the diaspora. We should harness the power of the diaspora and not separate, you know?
Yeah. And I like the passion, the zest and gusto you're bringing to the table. It's really palpable. Now, you've spoken about sports as a vehicle for empowerment, especially when it comes to women's sport. Now, what barriers do you think still exist for young African girls in sports, especially in this part of the world, and how can we break them?
Thank you so much for that question. The biggest barrier is not something physical. It's something that is within us, unfortunately, and within any place, not just Africa, the continent, but any place that has a patriarchal structure. It's the stereotypes that girls should or should be doing something instead of just empowering our girls to be great at what they are, God blessed them with. I am so fortunate to have two amazing parents, Nze Peter and my mom, Dr. Ifi. They're amazing, but they were progressive because they saw that, oh, our girls, they shouldn't be in gymnastics, which they put us in. They shouldn't be in soccer, which they started with us. They had a friend told them, your girls are tall, you should put them in basketball. Now, at that time, in the early 90s, early 2000s, a lot of her peers, my mom's peers and my dad's peers, they were like, why are you putting your girls in sports? There's no success there. The same thing that people were told when the kids want to go into music or something artistic. But my parents were like, I've seen them practice. They're learning to work together as a team. They're being strong. They're learning confidence. You know, they're standing. They're embracing their body with confidence. You know, they're being strong women, young girls developing. So they saw a lot of good values. In sports, you're taught to care about the last player on the bench as much as you care about yourself. We're all equals. In sports, you're taught that when you win, it's not about holding that trophy by yourself, even though you love that Instagram shot, right? But it's about, you know, when you get there, it's like you want to share that winning feeling with other people. You want to look to your left and to your right, I did that backwards, and say like, oh, we made it here. You know, my parents saw those values. And so I think the biggest stereotype is letting people, now, mind you, I will say this, academics, education always came first. That's a part of our DNA as well, as Nigerians, as Africans. But outside of that, supporting us in that endeavor transformed our lives. And so now our great incomes are coming through sport and not necessarily the conventional pathways that a lot of people, you know, were like, that's not good. And the irony is that those people that looked at my parents sideways are now like, hey, can your girls mentor my kids in basketball? You know, so it's just like keeping an open mind. Obviously, as the rising generation, we have to maintain our purpose with education. That is the thing that will always hold us down. But it's okay to have these side hustles, because the side hustles like music, look, Afrobeats has taken over the world. Side hustles as sports, people are getting paid millions of dollars to play sports. This is economic power in a creative way.
Chiney Ogwumike. We appreciate your time, your insight, your bubble, your spirit.
Can I say something if you don't mind?
Say something real quick.
Normally my voice is much more robust, but I had a few days here, and so now I'm very happy to be here. You know what I'm saying? The voice is a little...
It's okay, we got you.
You know,
we appreciate
a little bit better.
you. We're proud of all that you're doing. More power to you. Thank you so much for joining us here on Newsday.
Thank you for having me.
All the best. Thank you.